not the pop, bro. Hello and welcome back to
the phone.
Oh wow, that's my job.
Matchup.
You know, you have a problem. Do we need to turn these cameras off?
I just thought we could do it.
No, you ain't thought nothing. Stay in your place.
I understand.
Play your position.
Thank you.
My bad, y'all. But welcome back to the Focus Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb. So glad to have you guys here with us today. So I want to introduce you guys to this guy right here. This is going to be my co-host. What do you want to go by?
Second J.
Second J. Okay. So this is going to be my co-host, Second J. This is actually my little brother. So I thought it'd be cool to bring him on here to do an episode just to figure out, well, not figure out, I already know, but for you guys to know, just a little bit about us and like how our relationship started and why I picked him to be the co-host on the pod. So yeah, man.
Dang, you're gonna have to dive into it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dive into some stuff.
Gotta get into it. That's crazy, bro.
I mean, obviously, you being my brother, I've known you my whole life, so it's not like we can say where did it all start because it started from day one.
That's cat. You ain't know me your whole life.
Well, you know
Cap.
me.
I know
me.
you.
Yeah, you know me your whole life.
Don't get it twisted. No.
Yeah, for sure. But I wanted to talk because there was a period of time where in life, me and you were we've always been very close. I would say we've always been very close. But looking at the different stages of closeness. So when we started out being close, obviously it was all that buddy type stuff. We would had similar interests, playing video games, going outside, having fun, same group of friends. Basically.
I mean, but before that though, we argued all the time.
We did. I forgot about that. There was a period of time where we argued a lot.
Stuff in the room that wasn't mine. Stuff wasn't yours.
And you know how many whoopings I got, bro, because you didn't know how to clean up after your toys. No, you just started a serious problem because now we got to talk about this.
Wait, listen, I can explain. I'm young.
Oh, your brother's young. He doesn't know how. No, he knows how to make the mess. If you know how to make the mess, you know how to clean up.
But what I'm saying is, as someone so young, I had to be taught to clean up. You see, instead of getting an attitude with me, you should have been helping me out. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
But what you're saying.
It's not even about helping you or not helping you out. I think the more of the issue was the fact that I would get in trouble if I didn't. Like, it's not my obligation to help you out. If I help you out, cool. If I don't help you out, cool.
Okay, but what does the scripture say about this?
Let's talk about it.
Bear you one another's burdens?
Checkmate. You got me. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, we did go through a period of time where we argued a lot. Butt heads a few times. I don't even remember what we was arguing about.
Stupid stuff.
Just childish stuff. But besides the arguments, I think we argued because we were so close and we wanted to be so in sync with each other that when we weren't, it was weird for us and we didn't really know how to process that.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that is actually
that was definitely a weird time for us, but still fun. I would say it was still fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, we did everything together, played together,
even in matching outfits.
People thought we were twins. I don't know why they thought we was twins for the longest.
They did, yeah.
Cause your peanut head, bro. Ain't no way I got. That's probably why you allergic. That's crazy.
That's personal information.
I'm sorry. My bad. My fault, bro. My bad.
Can we turn this? I'm offended.
That's crazy. But our relationship took a turn.
Yeah.
I would say probably right around high school. High school time.
2016 to be
Y'all
exact.
can basically guess, you get into high school. It comes a time in a young man's life. But, to backtrack before that. So, a lot of people don't know this, but we were homeschooled. Mm-hmm. I think I got taken out 8th grade. Did you even go to middle school?
No, right after 5th grade. 5th grade was my last year.
That's crazy. You didn't get to experience middle school. It's crazy. That's wild. But, yeah. So, we were homeschooled from from 8th grade on to I went to college. We were homeschooled. So, I mean, it made us go even closer in that regard, just being homeschooled. But we did take band at our local high school together. We was able to go to the school for that because obviously my mom was our teacher. She wasn't teaching me how to play no instruments. So,
no, not at all.
Which I think was good. I think it was good to get us out the house a little bit, get a little socialization still.
Yeah, we lost all of our social skills.
Yeah, social skills was low. I was like an introvert, bro. I didn't know how to talk to people. I was nervous to be in public. I'm like,
yeah. That aspect of homeschooling was crazy, but I preferred it, honestly.
I think so too. Looking back on it, if I had the choice, I'd probably do it again.
Yeah.
just because at that time I had dreams to play college football. And it was like right when it was at a weird time when they like started like expanding schools, like we just combined school districts.
Yep, I remember that.
With another school district. So like the classrooms were super huge. And so like I'm like the type of person that like I'm not like I want to say I'm stupid, but like sometimes it takes me a couple of times of hearing something explained for me to get it.
Yeah.
And like when you got a class with one teacher and like 30 students, she ain't got time to keep repeating herself just for me. So at that time I was like, I wanted to go D1. So I'm like, it's probably better to just be homeschooled so I could get the one-on-one attention I needed.
Yeah.
Or take as long as I needed to understand. Because once I understood something, it was breeze. But like I just couldn't comprehension. I had trouble comprehending things. So I think it was good. Definitely good.
Yeah, but yeah, we definitely got close. We learned how to finesse the system together. I remember all those times I would have a phone call. We would go play 2K in the room instead of doing the work.
Oh my gosh, Jesus! Go to the store, leave the answer book. Now, what I want to know is crazy is we was cheating on the Bible study stuff. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But hey, you had to get it how we lived, I guess. And then going to like the community center to play basketball, that was like our recess. My dad was allegedly our principal, but when I say alleged, he ain't know what he was doing. But I mean, I think
good.
Yeah, I think but overall though, it's not like we didn't learn. I think we learned a lot.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, I think we made it pretty okay. So we made it work with what we had for sure.
Yeah.
Dang. Then the fallout.
Yeah.
The fallout is crazy. You want to tell them what happened, bro?
Yeah, I mean, so first fallout, because we did have multiple. But the first fallout was on me. We had spent all that time together.
Yeah,
like we had did our first jobs together. We had did the homeschool together. Like everything we did was together.
For sure.
I kind of got to a point where I'm like, I wanted my own thing. Especially like
its own thing.
Because like being the younger brother, everyone associated me with you.
That's true.
Everyone.
I never thought about it like that.
It was like they couldn't mention me without you.
Yeah.
And it was like,
sure.
I ain't about to be in your shadow.
Yeah.
My entire life. So I kind of wanted my own thing, And during that time, got snared.
Snared.
Ended up taking interest in a young lady, and for the first time, I had found something that I couldn't share with you because everything else.
At least
you
shouldn't share.
Don't do that. Everything had been a collab thing, but this was my own thing, and I wanted to venture off. And so, I mean, everyone knows how it is when you have that first person you're interested in, you forsake everything for that one person.
And not to fail to mention too, like at that time in our life, that was like the first like young lady like she was interested, that had a mutual interest in you, and you guys. It was
very true. Yeah.
So we had both struggled with women our whole lives. Obviously, being homeschooled, we weren't around a ton of women either.
Yeah.
But for me, that was like an awkward situation for me because I'm like, this is my dog, and then like here come this woman coming here taking my dog from me. So like I didn't want to let you go at that point either. So like I was just third wheeling for y'all. I was driving y'all around everywhere because I was like, you can have both of them. You can make this a thing. So that was definitely a weird time for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, my mindset was I just started to get more and more focused on that, which is crazy. Like looking back, being a kid basically. I was 16 years old. So I was a kid.
No business.
Forsaking everything and wanting all everything that I had to do to be centered around me and her and whatnot. So yeah, I just lost interest with hanging out with you, and so
that's tough.
I stopped talking to you so much, and growing up, Christian and like being brought up in the Lord and things like that, started getting involved in some stuff I shouldn't have, and there was shame. I didn't want to talk to no one.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't want the judgment and different things like that. So yeah, I just kind of isolated myself from you. Because of shame, but also because I just wanted something apart from you. It was kind of, I won't say rebellious, but it was kind of like it was an independent thing. that I wanted to get going for myself and things like that. But
it always seems like it always happens. Like there's that moment of like curiosity. Everybody gets it at some point. But like, you know, like you said, if you do something with somebody your whole life, you want to see what life outside of that person is like.
Yeah.
And I think that was your opportunity. You took it. You did right by yourself.
The James Brown.
Now, what is this other falling out time you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
It was the most recent one.
Oh. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I bet you do.
Yeah, so that's actually great because that ties into that's actually probably the reason why I wanted you to be on this pod with me.
Yeah.
Why I wanted you to be the co-host, because I think that was the most significant fallout that we've had, because that one brought about so much change in both of us.
Yeah,
and I see so much growth on both of our end that like I think that's the reason why we are where we are today. For
absolutely,
sure.
I 100% agree
so
with you.
basically, what that happened is, to make a long story short, you started really getting serious about your relationship with the Lord. And I think Father was exposing some things to you about like what the world is, and how we're supposed to love not the world, know the things of the world.
Yeah,
all that's in the world is lust of flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life. And like you was on this heavy train about being set apart.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to like. Honestly, when we were hanging out, a lot of the hangouts we were doing, I wouldn't say we was like doing anything like non-Christian or wrong.
Yeah, we wasn't clubbing or nothing.
But like we would go skating, playing basketball a lot, playing video games, just kicking it, you know. And you started to like not want to do those things as often as we was doing them, because you was trying to spend more time with the Lord. Yeah. And trying to build your relationship there. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand, because I'm like, this is my dog. I'm like, you can't do both, bro. Like, why can't you just like do that and still hang out with us as much as you were?
Yeah. So let me say, during that time, I had gotten hurt, like over and over and over again, just trying to do things my own way and just coming up short. I mean, even now, there's some areas that I still try to do my own thing, but I was just fed up. You know, I was like, something's got to give. Yeah. And I'll never forget. I got afflicted by the Lord. I was done. I was down and out.
Finished. KO.
Some sickness was over me. It was one I don't even know what it is to this day. But like my vision was going in and out. Like I was getting blurry, things like that. I couldn't really breathe. I had weakness. I couldn't eat. Every time I ate something, I threw up. Like there was just a lot going on. Yeah. I didn't know. It's like sometimes I would pass out and stuff like that. It was a lot. And I remember you ain't never liked this.
I know. For those of y'all don't know, I don't know if you can see her on camera. I don't know how low I got her, but I do have a cat. She might make a special guest appearance. We'll see.
But yeah, I remember I prayed. Yeah. And I was like, Lord, like, hide not your face from your servant. Like
that is love.
That's all I really could say. And I remember the Lord had me. I had this overwhelming feeling to go take a shower. Yeah. And so I went and I got in the shower, and like I was like woozy about to pass out, and I had a vision. And that vision messed my stuff up. Man. Fire was falling from heaven, things like that. And I was ducking and other stuff like that. And immediately I prayed and asked, what does this mean? And immediately I said, Lord, I'm sorry. Like, I repent for being ashamed of you. Wow. And at that moment I threw up in the shower. And right after I threw up, after repenting from that, I was perfectly fine. Wow. And so I was like, yeah, this is it for me. There's no going back after this. This is definitely it. And so, yeah, that's when the first thing I asked was, Lord, what do I need to do different? And the biggest thing was what was consuming my time. That was the biggest thing. What was interfering from my time with him? It was the skating. It was the video games. It was the hanging out and doing all this stuff like that. So when I have an experience like that, I'm off the scene.
I don't blame you for that. Yeah, I think, but the hard thing for me was that I didn't know all that happened. Yeah. So to imagine, like, we go from like we doing this is our stuff,
the complete 180.
To now all of a sudden it's like, nah, bro, I can't be out there today. I'm like, I wonder, like, did you switch up? What happened?
Yeah, I can see that from your perspective.
I think, especially at that time in our life, we didn't have the maturity to like be like, let's sit down and have a conversation about this, and you can explain it. It's just you were genuinely just trying to be obedient to what Father said, and if that meant like cutting it cold turkey. That's what you were gonna do.
And honestly, because of just having that experience, like, I went from one extreme to the other. There was looking back, I can definitely see different ways I could have handled that. Especially like if we're boys and stuff like that, and I want you to be on par with the Lord, I could have had a conversation. Say, hey, this is what the Lord's showing me. We need to do other stuff. But for me, it was just like my intensity was up, just cut.
Yeah,
I definitely can see I went from one extreme, just hopped over, and everything was harsh, and
Yeah. So after that had happened, you had been for a while, not doing the things we were doing, spending more time with the Lord. You were growing in the Lord. Everything was good for you. And I think that kind of just pushed us kind of further away.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's not that I wasn't a Christian at that time. I was a Christian still, but like I was definitely not pursuing the Lord that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't studying as much as I should have. Wasn't praying as much as I should have. I was just kind of like a sure you are a Christian type thing. Where like I would go to church on Sunday, and then like that was kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
And then if something came up during the week, it's not like I prevented something from coming up where I could learn or study or whatever, but that was like kind of my thing. And then the situation happened. Crap. So I'll never forget this day, because I think this is the day that literally changed my life for real. I remember it was me, you, and our god brother Dewan, and we had all. It was the first time like us boys. We was like, look, it's been a while since we had all been together, so we were like, let's go out to dinner as the boys and just have a good time.
Yeah.
And so we went out to dinner, and I remember you was talking to us. This is like the first time you like mentioned to us about what Father had been showing you in the Word about what the world is and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember the entire time that we was having that conversation, you are really trying to be the center of attention right now. Going back and forth. Anyways, but yeah, so you were explaining to us everything that Father was showing you in the Word and all that stuff. And I remember that conversation was very difficult for me. Because, obviously I'm your older brother. And here you are, like, trying to, like... And it's not even that you did anything wrong. I wouldn't say you did anything wrong.
Yeah.
But you were, like, asking us questions, like, what is the world? Like, what is... just asking us questions. And I was like... I thought I knew the answer, but, like, I didn't want to answer because I didn't want to sound stupid if I had it wrong.
Yeah.
Especially since it was coming from you. I'm like, this is my younger brother. Why are you trying to ask me this?
Yeah.
And so, like, that entire conversation, like, my hearing, I was only, like, halfway listening.
Yeah.
And I was listening to what you were saying, and I was hearing it. But the pride in me wouldn't let me fully give my whole ear to you.
Yeah.
And the entire time that we was having that conversation, I just kept feeling the Lord pressing me, saying, like, humble yourself and just listen. Just listen to what's being said. Don't worry about who it's coming from. Just listen to what's being said.
See, I didn't even know that. You got to
no. And so, I remember we sat in the car after the restaurant. We sat in the car in the parking lot at the restaurant. We continued the conversation, and then the drive home was kind of awkward. It was kind of quiet and stuff.
Wasn't that the same day the dude hit my mirror? And we didn't know what he had going on.
It might have been. I don't know.
Then the dude get out and he was like, "Yeah,
that's a story." I don't know what he had going on, but I remember because I think you had drove. You picked me up.
Yeah.
And you dropped me off at my house, and we just sat in the car for a little bit. And like the whole car ride home, I was like praying, just asking God to like help me to be humble and just to hear what you were trying to say. And so then it just like hit me, and I was like, I remember I was broken in the car. I broke down because I finally got to the point where I was like, like no matter who it's coming from, what you're saying is true. Amen. I need to know what the world is and how to be set apart from the world. I knew that I wasn't living the best Christian life that I could have at that time. So I'm like, I know there's things in my life that I needed to adjust. But the pride in me, just because it was coming from you, I just didn't want to accept it. And so then when Father finally humbled me and had me just listen to what you were saying, I finally felt like I told Father in that moment that like, I want to be more genuine and more serious about my relationship with you.
Yeah.
And I want to stop playing these games and like actually like, start laying my life down, essentially, like letting go of the things that I was holding on so tight to and trying to have things be how they used to be, knowing that things they're different now. Yeah. And they have to be different. The more you grow, the more you mature, life looks different. But that doesn't mean that we can't still be close. We can't still be boys or whatever. Yeah. It just might look a little different. And I had a hard time accepting that. And so from that day forward, after like I finally humbled myself, and then I think me and you prayed in the car together that day too.
Yep.
And ever since then, like our relationship took a turn, and it's been like so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
So yeah. From that day on, me and you, we started going through thick and thin together. Like you saw some of my lowest moments and was there for it. Some of my growing pains, if you will, like some of a lot of my mistakes happened with you, you know, or to you, things like that. Especially like just coming up, like being too harsh or coming from a place of superiority, all those things like that. A lot of it was dealing with you, that the Lord was dealing with all that, and because I was constantly offending you over and over and over, you know. So yeah, we from that moment on, I do remember the conversation in the car and us praying together, and all that stuff, and everything changed that day. Everything. I think we started talking more. We started being more vulnerable. I think that was the difference. It's not that we didn't talk. We definitely talked, but we started being vulnerable. Yeah, and I think that was the change right there, because that was a very vulnerable moment
for sure
in that car, and it kind of opened the door to say like, okay, it's safe to be vulnerable.
For sure.
Now, so since then, the vulnerability kicked up a notch, and so like, it's at a point where I can tell you practically anything.
Yeah, I feel the same.
And just be like, hey, this is what happened. I was in a situation. This is what happened. Yeah. And it's like, you can't think like that. You gotta pray.
Yeah.
You know, and so just been able to encourage each other since then. And you're right. You're totally right.
And seeing the pattern of me and your relationship, how like it keeps going in the trends, where like we were even still we were butting heads even after that conversation happened. Yeah. Because like I said, just because you humble yourself one time doesn't mean that the temptation to not is gonna still not come. So there's been a lot of times where like we and you have had conversations, and then it's like you're trying to tell me something, and I'm like, bro, like could you just get off my back? And I think for the longest time,
you scared to call me.
Yeah, for the longest time, bro. I'm like, if I did something, like I do not want to talk to this right now. I am not trying to talk to you, because I know, and it's not even like you were trying to be a father figure, or like trying to little bro me or whatever. It was literally like you just like you. I think to put it the best way, I think you were the person who taught me how to examine myself. Wow. And the way you taught me how to examine myself was because when I would bring something to you, you didn't necessarily, like we like to say, bust chops. You didn't bust my chops or anything, but you just asked questions. And I felt so convicted by the questions that made me upset with you. Like why are you trying to make me think about this like this? Like, it wasn't that deep.
Just say, okay,
it was a one-off. This is what happened. But the one-offs started to become not one-offs. They started to become habits and different things. And so like you have to I think that was around the time also we got the word about laying the axe to the root. Yeah. So like the problem could be the root of something, but it has branches and leaves and fruit that it has that come with that. And so you might pluck a piece of the fruit and you might be delivered in that area, but the root of the situation is still the same. So you have to, I remember that's when you came up with the why question game. Yeah. Like, if you want to do this, why? Okay, if that's the reason why, then why that? So
until you can't answer it no more.
I'm tired of answering these questions, bro. I'm like, I don't know what else you're about to get from me. Like, what are you looking for? Yeah. But I would definitely say that you were instrumental in helping me learn how to examine myself for sure.
Wow, amen. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's funny how and that's why part of the reason why I wanted to do this podcast too, because I'm like, you never know. And it's not to like gas you up or boost you up or anything like that. I don't see it like that. I know but like you never know like how what you do affects somebody on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Because I know there's things about my life that you said that you've observed and watched, and you've learned a lot from me as well. So it's not like, one of us is better than the other. Right. We're both members of the body of the Christ. We both have things that we bring to the table that we're going to learn from each other with. And I think it's a beautiful thing just to see that just by living our lives, we can really encourage and be there for each other.
It's because we're so different that makes us complement each other.
For sure.
Me and Kel have been told several times that if we just had
so I have to stop my recording.
If we had more of each other with each other, everything would be fine. So like I'm too much on this side and Kim's too much on that side, but we just met in the middle.
Right. For sure.
We'd be definitely good at that. So.
But yeah, I'm truly, and I want to say this too. I don't think I say this to you enough. I'm not trying to get emotional in here or have you get emotional because they're not about to have me like that. but I do think that, like, you know, a lot of time goes by, and I don't think we really like tell each other how much like I appreciate you for real.
Yeah.
Because it's a different kind of thing. Like a lot of people, I'm blessed because a lot of people, when they have siblings or like younger brothers or whatever, like, you'd be surprised how many people hate their siblings. Like they just don't get along with their siblings.
Yeah.
And I'm very blessed to be able to say that like my brother is my best friend. Like, you know, that's doesn't come often. I know I'm not trying to do it, but the people need to know. So we're gonna get through this and then we'll never talk about it again. But like for real, like you are the type of person that like no matter how mad I get at you, I know that me and you will be able to hash it out and move past it. Yeah, and I know that we're gonna solve whatever issues we have in the Word of God, and God's gonna be right. It's not you're right or I'm right or us going against each other, but we can come together and say what does the Word say, and that solidifies everything. Yeah. And to also know that I have somebody that's gonna keep me accountable for my actions too, which is in a sense a hard thing as well, because sometimes you just want to do what you want to do.
Absolutely.
But that's not how this works. So to have somebody that, you know, can do that for you in love, and even though we butt heads or whatever, like I'm so thankful for all of our experiences that we've had together with the butting heads and everything, because I think it's made us who we are, and I think it's made us closer together. And we've built this relationship now where we can talk and be open and transparent with each other and know that the other person doesn't have like, you know, a malicious intent behind anything that they say. So I don't take that for granted. I'm truly appreciative of that.
Same here, man. Sure. Like, I mean, honestly, like this is it. Like honestly, like the relationship we had before is what I always thought I wanted, but seeing what it's become now and what it's still becoming is what I'm extremely grateful for, because like I said, I learned so much from you, and there's nobody that knows me like you do. Like like you've seen some really dark moments. Yeah. Some really, really dark moments. I feel bad
for your steering wheel in your car, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
You used to get it, but like just the relationship that we have now, what I see is that before we was working at it, we was trying to make the relationship work, but we had to have that time apart for the Lord to. I'm not trying to turn this into, it was the Lord that brought us back together, because it wasn't mutual interest in the video game that brought us back. It wasn't mutual interest in our same football team. It wasn't, you know, any fleshly or worldly interest that brought our relationship back together. It was me growing in the Lord and you growing in the Lord.
For sure.
And we naturally started talking again.
Yeah.
And so, like, to me, that was the Lord that did it. And it's better than I could ever have tried to work for it myself or try to imagine it to be. And, you know, it's still growing. And I'm just, I'm very, very
along
grateful.
For the ride, bro. And hopefully, like, doing this podcast together, we can invite people into that and just allow people to see that for sure. And, like, know that we don't do this for show. Like, this is literally, like, how we are every day.
Yep.
This is how me and him talk. Yep. We call each other every day.
Yep. Not the weekends.
Yeah, not the weekends though. The weekends are a little different.
Come on.
We can't really disclose what reasons the weekends are different, but the weekends are different for sure.
I mean, you're a married man.
Yeah, so you know, there's different responsibility and different things come up too.
That was a thing too.
Me being married was that put a little stint.
I lost my dog.
Yeah, sure.
I lost my dog.
But again, it's just about adaptability. You know, it's gonna look, just because I'm married doesn't mean that we can't still have the relationship we have. It might have to look a little different. But,
absolutely, it doesn't. Just because things are different doesn't mean we're different.
Right.
Things are different.
Right, and I'm so glad that I have a wife that understands too, because she knows like the ministry aspect of it. Like, you know, I would love to do certain things, but there's sometimes where like somebody might need some ministry, and if it's not like she needs, you know, something in a ministry form, because obviously she would be my priority in that situation. But If it's just forsaking fun is what I would say.
Yeah.
Not everything is always going to be about having fun or doing something fun, but like, you know, making sure that the gifts that Father gave us were given back to his people. And that's the important thing. And I'm so glad that she's understanding of that for sure. But yeah, at some point you guys will get introduced to our god brother Dewan. I know we mentioned him a little bit in this pod, but you know, he was another guy that was around us a lot while we were growing up too. So it was like the three of us, the three musketeers, you know. But eventually you guys will get introduced to him. We'll do an introductory episode for him too, because he'll probably be on the pod pretty regularly as well. But yeah, I'm excited, man, to see where this pod's gonna go.
I'm excited too.
Father's already been working a lot of things out in it, so
Yep.
I'm not even sure at this point what's going to be next, but hey, I'm just trusting Father for it, and we're along for the ride.
Just hanging out, just chill guy.
Just hanging around. But yeah, you guys like, comment, subscribe. It'll help us grow the channel. And as always, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Catch you on the next episode.
What did he say? Focus on ya.